Welcome to the Global War Watch Network. So get this, China just flipped a switch on a nuclear reactor that doesn't need uranium, makes almost zero waste, and could completely change the future of energy for the whole world. Let's break down why everyone is watching this so closely. Today we're looking at this incredible achievement, the world's first working thorium molten salt reactor. And believe me, this isn't just a small upgrade, it's a potential revolution in how we power our planet.
What we're talking about here is so much more than just another power plant. This is a technology that could fundamentally change how we power everything, not just for a few years, but for centuries. It's a total rethink of what nuclear energy can be. So let's get right into it. Why are people calling this a nuclear revolution? Well, it's all about a technology that goes way beyond the uranium-based reactors we're all familiar with.
Right, so in Wuwei, China, this reactor is officially up and running. It was developed by the Chinese Academy of Sciences, and it's a 2-megawatt prototype. Now, I know what you're thinking. 2 megawatts doesn't sound like a lot, but don't let that number fool you. This is the very first time this kind of technology has been proven to work on a functional scale, and that is a massive deal.
So, what really makes this reactor so different from the ones we've been using for decades? Well, it all comes down to a completely new way of thinking about nuclear power, and it starts with the fuel itself.
This slide really lays it all out. You know, traditional reactors, they use solid uranium fuel rods and super high-pressure water. That combo comes with big risks, like meltdowns and radioactive waste that last forever. This new design just throws that playbook out the window. It uses thorium fuel dissolved in a liquid salt, it operates at normal pressure, and it produces way less waste. It's a whole new ballgame.
And the fuel, thorium, is a real game changer. It's this silvery metal that's about 3 to 4 times more abundant on Earth than uranium is. Just think about that for a second, what that means for global energy. Countries would no longer have to depend on just a handful of nations for their nuclear fuel supply.
Okay, this is where it gets really cool. Thorium itself, which is what we call a fertile material, can't actually start a nuclear reaction on its own. But inside this reactor, it absorbs a neutron and poof, it turns into uranium-233. And that is fissile, meaning it can sustain a chain reaction. So the reactor is basically creating its own fuel while it runs. It's a process called breeding.
And this whole fuel breeding thing is just incredibly efficient. It lets the reactor use pretty much all of its fuel, leaving behind just a tiny fraction of the waste you get from a regular reactor. It's almost a self-sustaining cycle that turns this once-overlooked element into a clean energy powerhouse.
All right, but let's talk about the elephant in the room. With any new nuclear tech, the biggest question is always about safety. And this is where the design of this thorium reactor is just, frankly, it's remarkable.
The short answer is yes. And the reason why is because safety isn't just an add-on system, it's literally built into the physics of how the reactor works. It's inherently safe.
So here's how it works. First, it operates at normal atmospheric pressure. That means there's no risk of a high-pressure explosion like in old designs. The liquid salt it uses is also a fantastic coolant, which is crucial for its safety system. This all means a traditional meltdown is physically impossible, and the waste it does make is much less hazardous.
And here's the most brilliant part, this passive safety mechanism. It's just simple physics. If things start to get too hot, the molten salt expands. As it expands, the fuel atoms get further apart, and the nuclear reaction just automatically slows itself down. No buttons to push, no computers to fail, the reactor literally regulates itself. It makes a catastrophic failure almost impossible.
So when you have a technology that's this safe and this efficient, the implications are just massive. We're not just talking about powering a few cities anymore. We're talking about powering the entire planet, and maybe even destinations beyond it.
And the speed of this project is just incredible. They started building this thing in 2018 and had a fully working prototype in just a handful of years. The goal now is to scale it up, with plans for commercial reactors of 100 megawatts or more by the 2030s. That's enough to power entire cities.
This kind of technology could be a massive breakthrough for so many of the world's biggest challenges. It could give countries real energy independence, offer a powerful tool against climate change, and bring electricity to remote places. And for China, you better believe that getting this right gives them a huge strategic advantage, putting them right at the front of the next nuclear age.
And the vision doesn't even stop at Earth. These reactors are so compact, efficient, and safe that they could be the key to humanity's future in space. We're talking about powering permanent bases on the Moon, on Mars, and wherever we go next. Now, to really wrap your head around the long-term potential here, it helps to think about something called the Kardashev scale. It's basically a way to measure how advanced the civilization is based on how much energy it can control.
A Type 1 civilization is one that can harness all the energy available on its home planet. We're not there yet. We're currently sitting at about a 0.73 on that scale. But a breakthrough like this thorium reactor, one that offers clean, safe, and practically limitless power, is exactly the kind of giant leap that could push us towards becoming a true Type 1 civilization.
This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just another impressive piece of engineering. It's a potential turning point for our entire species.
When you boil it all down, this is about so much more than just keeping the lights on. It's about unlocking a future with clean, abundant, and maybe even infinite energy. A future that could completely redefine what's possible for humanity, both here on Earth and out in the stars. The real question is, are we ready for it?
Thanks so much for your time and for joining us for this explainer.
If you found this useful, we'd really appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe to the Global War Watch Network. It really does help us keep bringing you these kinds of analyses.
And of course, we want to know what you think. Are thorium reactors the future of energy? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and come join the conversation on our social media channels. You'll find all the links for that down in the description.